Good morning, good morning. It's a wonderful morning, isn't it? I'm here just a little bit after the 8. It's 8:13 going by my computer. How are you this morning, Karina? Lovely to have you here. It's a cloudy day outside and it's cool, quite cool. So I'm hoping there's some rain on the way because we're really needing it. And I love the sound of rain on an iron roof. So looking forward to when it starts to fall. We're here for the cards. I'm Boundy, Psychic Medium, bringing you the daily Lenormand card spread. So today it is Lenormand cards, so I'm going to pop over to those now. Tune into your psychic senses and bring your connection with your spirit guides to the foreground so that you've got that consciousness around what you're receiving with the messaging from these cards. You know, they are only a tool. The main part that we're trying to practice with doing these daily readings is that connection with our inner self and spirit guides to take that guidance as we need it through our days. Here we go. Now, what we've got, it is the fairy tale card still, and that's the guidebook, and I don't think I actually lined that up properly yet. I didn't. What we've got is the letter, the child, and the clouds. Now, this is almost as they fell, because these top two actually flew out of the card deck as I was shuffling them for the cards for the day. So that's where they lay. And the last one, the clouds, I just placed as it came from my hand, and that's the pattern it was. Is there any significance in it? I don't know. You take what you need from that as far as the actual layout goes. I think personally it's a little bit more about the randomness of how life joins us as such, or how we join in with our life and the patterns we might see in it as we're going through our day. Let's zoom in as much as we can. I am probably going to have to move the camera around, well, the image around to which one I'm actually reading at the time like that. So apologies if you don't like motion. Okay, now this is zoomed in as far as it will go. So the first card that we're looking at is the letter. Even though this was the second card that came out, actually I will read the child first because that's the card that fell out of the deck first. Well, it actually flew onto the table, literally. What we've got in here, do you remember how I was mentioning the different faces in these images that now, who's the artist? The artwork is Lisa Hunt. She's hidden little faces in so many of these images. It's really quite fun to look for them as I move through a reading. There's lots of little children there. Well, that's what they look like, is little child faces. And here's some other playful ones that look like a clown. That one there almost looks like a pig coming down the tree. There's so many different little aspects of it. Now, it does remind me of the story of the Hansel and Gretel of a child in the woods. I am going to look that one up in the guidebook because I'm curious. I can't quite remember the story behind this one. Of course, the key words are child and children and something new. So today there's going to be that something new popping into our day. And just trust that as well as you're feeling into that childlikeness. It's not childishness. I do feel it's more like a childlikeness, and really getting into that is going to bring us that sense of innocence and adventure. You know, walking through the woods, is it scary or is it fun? Anyway, the child in general is a positive card. So in the Grimm brothers' tale of Hansel and Gretel, it is that tale. So Hansel saves his sister twice from their mother's treachery, but Gretel is the one to save Hansel from the witch. So she learns something new while on the adventures with her brother. So when this card shows up, it is looking for something new coming into your life. So it could even mean a child. In other cards are indicators of fertility. So if you're trying for a child, it could be that positive aspect of do the best you can today. It might be the day. So have some fun with that, or it could be a toddler, and having that sense of exploration and adventure in your day to day as well, no matter what your age. And good morning to those who are in the who are in my Instagram feed as well. I just noticed there is a couple of people watching, so thank you for being here. Now, let's go over to the letter card. Whoops, hold on, just got to grab the right thing there. Here we're going to focus on the letter. Now, this one we know is the Red Riding Hood type of um, story. I'm just trying to find the page. I have a funny feeling I did this one the other day. It vaguely comes to mind. And here we go. I'll just point to that one there so we've got it on screen. See that wolf? Ah, sus, isn't it? He's a sus. Now, I haven't given any particular energetic meaning, as far as the houses, whether it's housework or, the work energies, love energies, whatever. It's just that these parts of the stories, the energies around children and what we're seeing with the child, and now we've got the letter, which is communication. They're all going to be present in our day in some form today. So that's how I'm reading them. And what we get with this card, it is written exchanges, results. It could be exam results or documents, messages, instructions, emails, text, that type of thing. But it is the Little Red Riding Hood story by Charles Perrault is a tale relating to communication. So Red Riding Hood's mother has instructed her to bring a basket of treats for her grandmother and to stay on the path. But the wolf has slipped a letter into the basket as well, hence why the wolf is actually there. And we sort of know the story in different derivations, different interpretations. Unaware of the lupine threat just a few steps away, our heroine has stopped to pick up some flowers. So her pause gives the wolf a chance to communicate with her. He tricks her into telling him where her grandmother lives, and when she finally made it to her grandmother's cottage, Little Red Riding Hood knew something was wrong. So the wolf had devoured the grandmother and eats Red Riding Hood as well. Thankfully, the woodsman hears the wolf and quickly cuts him open and saves Red Riding Hood and the grandmother. So in the tale, the contents of a letter can sometimes be the outcome of a story or affect the outcome of a story. So in Lenormand readings, it can represent written exchanges, as we've already mentioned, with the keywords. So when you see it, know that some news is coming. So expect some, I'm feeling it's exciting news. So really expect that is the unexpected. It almost sounds like a bit of a dumb way of saying it. Expect the unexpected. How can you expect the unexpected when you're not expecting it? Anyway, be wary, be aware, be wary, be aware, and enjoy the contents of your letter, because what I'm feeling with this one is it's good news. It's going to be something exciting. Okay, and now we're going to move to the clouds. So the clouds, look at all the faces in this one. These clouds are really, 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 really full of faces. Have you ever done that where you've just laid back on the ground or the lawn, a nice soft grassy lawn on a beautiful day, where there's clouds, and just tried to guess what all of the shapes in that look like, and how the clouds are moving and how they do change in such short time span? I love watching clouds like that. Done it many, many a times. Now in this we've got so many different faces, but it's moving from that is the dark and stormy looking up to the really light and bright and sunshiny, and it will dissipate away. We know in the Gilded Reverie deck that they certainly start dark and stormy and thunderbolt and all sorts in the corner, and move to the birds flying up into the corner. This isn't quite as pleasant looking, but it's certainly that relief of letting go of that darkness and the grumpies and moving into that's going to be beautiful. That the smiling energy, that's going to bring us that lightness in our day. So feel that sense of lift and release and cleansing and clearing as the clouds, how rain, after a rain, it really feels fresh and light and as if Mother Earth has had her drink. That's what it's giving me, in that sense of lightness and rejuvenation and cleansing and clearing. So in this deck, it's actually saying that the keywords are depression, confusion, sadness. But what I'm seeing from that is it's lifting and moving away. It's looking away, from that's below with the sadness and depression. We've got that sunshine aspect, looking to the future and moving it away. And we're going to have a wonderful relief in our end of the day, being able to know we've had a good day. That's what I feel. So this one, the actual story is a young girl must go on a prince-finding journey in a Norwegian tale called The East of the Sun, West of the Moon. It's not one I've ever heard as a fairy tale. So in this beast of a tale, the young beauty goes off to live with a polar bear. She misses her family, so the bear allows her to go home with a warning that her mother will try to confuse her. He says if she lets her mother speak to her one-on-one, that their happy life will come to a terrible end. Even with the warning, she succumbs to her mother. Wow. As he predicted, she lets the mother's words confuse her. Her actions bring bad luck to her and the bear prince. Eventually, there is a happy ending. But this is a tale of the sadness that can transpire when confusion clouds your mind. Now, this is where I can definitely sense that confusion is leaving and the mind is cleansed. It's going to bring that sense of having that flowing of energy, because clouds do not last forever in the one place. It does highlight that where the clouds show up, gloomy thoughts can shroud the situation, but that they also move on. You should pay attention to the two sides of the cloud. So the dark side shows a negative, but the light side can point you to a brighter path. That's from the guidebook. And I definitely see that with this for today, it is letting go of that is the dark and bringing in that light as a beautifully washed through and cleansed energy that's going to bring you so much more lightness and clarity, actually having that light shining on whatever situation it is that you've actually gone through to be at that point. But it's clearing and cleansing and really lifting and relieving and showing the way. It really does show that is behind what can sometimes seem like the truth and the facts and all of that, but it's from one perspective. This shows us that we do need to look at both sides of every story and situation. And then we have the responsibility of acting on it with that conscious thought, connecting in with spirit to be that guidance as we go and move through our day to day. But it's also we've got the child, that playfulness and sense of adventure as we are travelling through our day to day as well. Communicating it, look, in whatever way you need to, but this with the letter in our spread really is more about that is the written word. So spend some time, it's a Sunday, spend some time reading a wonderful good book or writing in a journal that you need to place your thoughts or processes, in whatever way you might use that sort of a written word. Thank you. Thank you for being here to watch this. Certainly I can be contacted via the messages, the DMs or whatever they're called in social media, the messenger messages, whatever. I do have a phone number floating around somewhere. You can find that. I'm not going to broadcast it. And I'm just going to psychic.online, just writing in my website there. The one that I'm currently using is the psychic.online. I'm rebuilding the rosboundy.com.au. Not ready yet. And there is space for readings as online readings. I'd record them similar to what we do here. or you can be in with me on that call. We just schedule a time together. And I'm going to go and have another coffee and have my breakfast. So it's a Sunday. It's a beautiful day to be resting, relaxing, rejuvenating, and letting your body repair in whatever way you need to do that. Okay, so thank you so much again for joining me. Blessings to you, and keep being the best you. Until tomorrow, namaste.